Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 95 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players' same as always. We have Kyle, Mac, Josh, and the Ghost of Christo. Recently,
Gah, Christo! Oh no, I can still hear his voice.
Recently, I gave everybody, because it was our 2-year anniversary, a dice so that they could use an inspiration for or against me. I am the only dice that can be affected by this. So everybody actually still has all of theirs in play. So good. Fun. I'm going to go ahead and give us a quick recap, and then I think we can jump into things. Last time the party had, I don't want to say narrowly escaped Jericho, but had no further encounters after running into Jericho at the post office. All party members returning back to the tavern safely, where they encountered an old woman who seemed to be being harried by a bunch of rough and tumbles, but this old woman ended up being Olavi Strawn's grandmother, or at least stated to be such, and it seems she comes around here often with baked goods, and seems very well respected by this community in general, including Olavi. Olavi is currently promised to gather multiple people information, including more information on where Rose is because she sent him letters, and information for Gorbjorn, who is looking for information about his father and the orcs that he traveled with. During this time, Roshan had gathered information and given information to a broker named Brilla, who was happy to receive anything you had to give her in regards to data about Bosch, or known as in this area as the Guard. You give her the full rundown that does not implicate you in any form or fashion. And at the end of this conversation, she requests information on Egil for 5,000 gold, which was denied, and then 10,000 gold, which was also denied. And she went about her business, leaving it there, saying that the offer was still on the table. During this time, Gorbjorn has started playing the room in the tavern and gathering influentials to sit at his important people table, learning about creatures in the water near these tall spires, these fingers that protrude, and just really sharp spikes from the water, that he says he destroyed single-handedly and then fell unconscious. And after such, Dinell offered Gorbjorn a lot of money for what she says is a simple job, but he is currently laying low, he says. And Dinell respects that and leaves. During this time, while Gorbjorn is playing the room, the rest of the party ends up meeting Norl up in Roshan's room, where she says that she needs assistance in getting in contact with her missing contact. This person seemed to be involved with Bosch's cult, and has not responded to any messages in a long time, and she has nowhere to really go on that. But she says she'll keep working, but she is at a dead end personally. She also says that she thinks you should contact Jericho. You were given a letter by Jericho that will fly to him with a message once thrown into the air, and she thinks you should try to plan something, whether it is a conversation or otherwise. She is not an expert on the topic, but thinks it's a good way to possibly turn the heat down a bit. And I believe that is where we left off, with Norl slipping out of the room and leaving the three of you, sans Gorbjorn, alone. And here's my question. Is there anything anybody else needed to do tonight? Or is it time for bed and we will see each other in the morning?
Good night.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I just want to feed Jenny, but nothing that we need to play out. I just want to make
Jenny is fed.
Yeah, I don't neglect my pet.
I have just like a secret ledger where I'm just waiting for you to skip like too many days. I'm just waiting. Little tracker. No, I'll get him.
I think the only thing that Nana would do before turning in for bed is try and like process everything that's been happening the last few days. Despite us not moving, there's been so much happening. She's gonna take some time to groom good old Thick Biscuit in the stable for a while before going to bed. But again, also nothing that has to be played out role play wise. But
I erased
she's
the
trying to,
tally
like,
on Thick Biscuit as well. Anything else, guys? All right. The night passes as eventful or uneventful as you please. And the sun rises and all of you get a long rest. Easy enough if all of you would like to convene either in the tavern or in one of the rooms. That is completely up to all of you.
Perhaps I think one of the rooms would be better? Nah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot that we have to discuss.
Yeah. Easy enough to get the team together. Somebody runs out for food. You guys are set.
Yeah, Nana definitely goes down, grabs us some grub, whatever's currently available at the tavern next door, and brings it back.
Yeah, the tavern has food to be given. The inn, on the other hand, it's that same loaf of bread that you are positive is the same loaf of bread that was here when you got here, and it already looked rough when you got here. Yeah. So the age of the bread is unknown, but unsettling.
Does it look any different? Smell any different?
Oh, looks exactly the same. But okay, you all reconvene.
Yeah. Next door, food, and then back to the room.
Easy enough.
What was Norrell's friend / contact's name? I didn't.
She did not provide one.
She did not provide one. No.
Okay.
Yeah. But we know that she was supposed to be trained as a ranger, probably.
Yeah.
She believes the details that she assumed, this was just her profiling, was a female ranger from age 18 to mid-20s.
Yeah, I just didn't know if a name was mentioned and I missed it somewhere, but apparently it wasn't mentioned. All right, never mind.
Well, there are a few things we have to do. I think it's obvious Jericho knows what's up.
Doesn't know my name, but he knows the one I gave him wasn't mine. I'm sure
well,
of that.
I don't know that it's safe to assume that he doesn't know your name at this point.
At the very least, I haven't given it to him on purpose.
We also... I think Norrell could be a quality ally, and I would like to look into her friend who is missing, but we'd have to deal with Jericho first, since being out, especially alone in any capacity, is dangerous right now. Mm-hmm. So what do you think we should do about our Jericho problem? Any ideas?
Well,
wait a moment, what if we've been discussing perhaps what motivates this man? It sounds like he does take pride in a job well done, yes. It sounds like he prefers to see things through to their end, but it doesn't sound like he's a foolish man, or not more foolish than average. I wonder if the post that the guard has just outside of town that we passed, if they are still manned, that would be the closest outpost to town, no? Unless there's one further on down the road. In which case, if we can lead Jericho there, He has visual proof that there is something encroaching upon his boss's territory, and that may take precedence over us.
I'm, again, not sure what motivates him, but if he is such a exquisite finder of people, perhaps he can help us to find the person that we're searching for.
But do we want to endanger the... There is some potential that Jericho might figure out whose contact this would be. Do we want to expose Norel?
Not particularly.
No, I don't think so.
So, I don't suggest that we let Jericho know about this particular person, but there are a few potentialities that could happen if he comes across them, and what he does will tell us what motivates him.
Who are you trying to get him to link up with?
I want to see whether or not Jericho will understand the immediate impact upon his boss's home, business, people, if his boss gives anything approaching a shit about any of that. His property, at the very least.
And you want to try and lead Jericho to the hole in the ground?
Assuming it is still manned by the guard's people. There is a chance that the contact who has had contact with Norel is there, because it would be a close-by posting. At the very least, we can look for signs of a ranger in the woods, see whether or not she had left evidence, something pointing to where she had gone.
I think before we head out in that direction, we should at least check at the space Norel was meeting for letters, check that area. Mm-hmm. But I think to do that, we need to first decide on how we're going to deal with Jericho in the near term.
I think that the best way to do that would be to take Norel's advice. Tell him that we will meet him under non-violent terms at a certain place. We don't have to tell him it's the hole in the ground just outside of town that's full of stinking fish.
Well, it's about a day away, so it's not just out of town.
True. But do we have time to find a potential other site that's closer?
Well, somewhere public and in plain view might be the best place if we want to avoid violence.
Yes, probably.
I
don't know.
Have we been back by where the screaming mushrooms were?
Not really. You haven't needed to be.
That is the
You've been
same
able to hear
square
them
that
calling
used
out
to
in the night.
have... Oh, geez.
There's a gentle scream in the night, but that just could be an imprint on this town.
Are they still there?
I think they're probably chopped down at this point.
One would think, but would they stop screaming?
It's likely to assume that the mushrooms are, if not dead, relocated.
Okay.
The amount of complaints that would come from that.
That's also where the tree was that Bosch put. That had been torn down.
Correct.
So I think
that would be a place that would work to meet. I think we do have a bit of leverage. I think we can imply that we have proof his boss ordered a hit on just on a random person, well loved by everyone who met them except for your boss. And if he tries to incriminate us, and as a meta piece of advice, we also have reverse inspiration, so we could intimidate him or something.
Or something.
One fucking roll that it's just like, no, again, Jillian.
Again. Too good.
Again.
Just everyone going around in a circle again.
The last one would be a nat 20. We all know this.
Jesus.
We all know.
Fuck. I mean, she right, though. Well, anyway.
How honest and upfront do we want to be with him once we meet him? He still presumably doesn't know what I look like.
I think it's probably fair that he keep not knowing what you look like.
Don't look like yourself, but don't look like Stilm
either.
But that would be pretty funny, though.
But I could observe from a moderate distance in case things go sideways. And, for all intents and purposes, I'm just another member of the public when he shows up. But
not bad.
There's the small concern that we are all marked as having an employer who is a rival of this man's employer. And I'm not sure what sort of level of trust we'll be able to build with him.
We should not build any more trust than we need to in order to not set off a potentially explosive situation.
I don't want to be this man's friend. I just want to be able to leave town without being traced along the road.
Right. I think we should only trust him as far as arm's length. He must needs be... We don't need to kill him. I'd rather not.
I'd rather not kill anyone, honestly. Very
frankly,
short.
I'd rather not fight him either. He's...
I count on one hand the number of people in this world I want to kill, and he's not amongst them.
Right. Anyhow, I would much prefer to see what we can do to appeal to something of his, whatever it seems to be. Roshan, is there anything that we could do magic-wise that might be of some assistance? I mean, I've been trying my best to work on conveying a more confident presence, but I don't know that it will help for me to have already lied about my name to him, so I don't know that I should be involved.
The best I could do is get him off our back for 8 hours, perhaps.
What would be your tactic there?
Magic.
Well, that would certainly help. Can you be a little bit more specific?
I presume just to suggest that he don't follow us.
I would assume as much, but I'd like for us
Yeah,
to at least understand what's happening amongst ourselves.
Give him a suggestion and hope he follows it.
Well,
otherwise, I could charm him, but after that wears off, he'll know he's been charmed, and some people don't take kindly to that, some people do. Not usually in negotiation circumstances.
And he is decidedly not someone I would want to have suddenly discover that we hoodwinked him, and he'd really rather go ahead and make things personal rather than business.
Correct. So, do we ask Alavi when... Honestly, I don't want to ask him, but it's an option. Do we ask him when he might have our information and when it might be safest to leave town and throw Jericho off our scent? Or otherwise, I don't see a way out of this without meeting with Jericho. Not at least without ending up in a dark alley murdering him.
Right. Well, rather why I was hoping that we might be able to make things sort of covert, like having him meet us elsewhere, but I don't know. It would be nice to know what sort of a timeline we have left. I really do not like being here in town where we are on not very solid ground. We cannot guarantee that we are safe here indefinitely. I don't
Absolutely
even know
not.
that we can call ourselves safe for the next few days. Jericho knows we are still in town as of, what, a day ago, 2 days? He'll be looking for us.
Which is why I think we need to move on this today. Gorbjorn, you've been turning Olavi's ear lately. Do you think you might be able to get that information out of him in one way or another?
I can set you up with a meeting with him, but I think you're
his
better
secretary now.
off.
Aw, little pencil skirt. I
Oh
love
my
Well,
gosh,
like, if I
Secretary
put
He's
my
Gorbjorn.
name
got the
down-
thighs for it, though!
If I
You
put
do.
if I put my name down, it's gonna get faster, and then that just you know.
No, that's true.
He's like, I could put a word in for you if you want to talk to him.
Gorbjorn and friends.
Ugh.
I mean, it's better than nothing. And honestly, from Olave's perspective, we really are nothing more than cogs in this machine. There's a reason why he branded all of us. He wants us as part of his enterprise. So, we have to approach this businesslike. We cannot assume that we're going to get any kind of favoritism. He doesn't owe us any, nor would he want to afford it.
I'm
I don't
I'm
know. I
so
think
far
he
in
kind of
the-
likes being used.
He what?
said he likes being used.
In what context was that said? I know you, Gorbjorn.
Straight face. Just doesn't respond.
Pretty straight.
I
Um,
No
cannot.
specifics, straight faced.
What do I read from that? I need to know.
Nana can infer what she would like to infer
God.
from that.
Damn it.
Well,
All right.
then
Sorry, the
Maybe
whole
he'd
party
be
in
a
secretary outfits had me fucked up for a second.
I'm
Ugh.
here for it, though. Fan art when?
We gotta win, boys. Put on the pencil skirts. Let's go. Heels on.
I know what's happening for the calendar.
Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Everyone's calves look great.
Hell yeah,
Anyway,
dude.
sorry. Had to get the mental image to the people. Continue.
Oh, damn. Nana's ass would be popping.
Well, I don't think at this point that it can hurt. I just do not want to press the point if Olavi does not seem interested because from what I know of him, he can be a very temperamental man, and I do not want to piss him off. I don't want him to get mad that his drink is empty, much less piss him off.
Mm-hmm.
So this has to be gentle, but
If there's anything you might be able to do, Gorbjorn, or say, or anything you could tell us to do or avoid.
does he like to be ogled?
I don't know. He just kind of gives me stuff, and I just tell him to do things, and then I just stop talking.
Hmm.
I still can't figure it out.
Yeah, well, let's see if we could go pay him a visit.
Why not? If you would be so kind, Gorbjorn, please do put in a good word for us with him.
Oh, we could just walk up to the door then, if he's still in his office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Is the bar? Is he's not up in the bar? Is he?
So, sorry,
I need to know,
I love
is-
the fact that you guys are going through Gorbjorn like, hey, I know we've talked to the guy before, but like, could you could you set
It's like, I
Could
need
you
to-
be our
what?
representative?
could you do this? And
like,
Gorbjorn
Could
just
be our
comes back with
face?
more rings. Like, I tried. I don't know. I don't know. Oh,
Like, you guys
yeah.
gotta come with me, or else it's not gonna do what
Oh,
we
yeah.
were trying to do.
Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah,
of
I'll come
course,
with.
of
Just gonna
course, we
hold
got
hands
to,
and
we got
Gorbjorn's
to.
gonna get stuff. Like,
Oh.
but all of you head over to the Laughing Ocean Tavern connected to the inn, and he is in the main thoroughfare. He is currently walking, he's currently at the bar talking to the bartender and like running a hand over Bertro's stomach.
I was gonna ask if Bertro was there.
Bertro is always present. He's a hardworking man.
Nana doesn't want to nose in, but like once Bertro's available, ear scratches.
Yes. While he stands there, it is a constant petting motion, and no
course.
injury comes to him. There's one moment where there's like one like lackluster kick, and that's when he like pulls his hand away. But it gets past 5. They're business partners, you
Of
know.
course.
But
Besties.
he glances over in y'all's direction. Do you want a drink?
Yeah.
Sure.
Love one.
No, thank you.
Looks at Gorbjorn, and then his gaze was at Gorbjorn, and then to everybody else, he's like, yes, and he's like, okay.
He didn't direct his gaze.
Should have been more specific.
Directed his gaze.
Direct your gaze at me. But drinks are made and then handed out. Oh, let's sit down, all of us together.
Absolutely.
And he goes over to Gorbjorn's table,
Oh,
the fancy
influential
table.
the new table,
The popular kids.
the new popular
Ooh.
kid table. He goes over and sits in the spot so that he is directly across from Gorbjorn.
Yeah.
And the rest of you are welcome to file in. And he sort of takes all of you in. Did you all come in here on there's energy, like mission energy? Is there something you needed?
There is. We were wondering what time frame we're looking at to get information about my sister.
He raises a finger. I have information. I have information that was requested. And he turns his focus to Gorbjorn.
I know.
Is it all right if I tell you the things you requested of me in front of your companions?
Oh.
He's looking right at Gorbjorn.
This whole time he would have been like just drinking his beer and probably finished it about now, and then just like let out like a good solid like burp, and then just be like, yeah, they'd be with me anyway.
All right, no problem. So I have a couple of leads involving the orcs you wanted me to look into. It's only been a couple days, so I did the best I could. There are 2 people you could talk to for more information and direction than I could possibly give. The first one is a delivery person by the name of Red. Red has given supplies to orcish emissaries near the border of the Forest of Eden. They would be able to provide details on what was ordered, how much, maybe what they were up to. Can't confirm. But I could get you in contact with Red, but it's all the way up north. Though there is a closer lead It is what do you say? A defector, somebody who left the tribe and has taken up a residence in a farmstead between Brookcourse and Noansicht on the northern side of the river. It is a good way, I think, if you're looking for inside information on what they were doing, much more so than a merchant would have been able to acquire. The farm owner, what was his name? The owner that is taking care of this defector is Amin Furch at Furch's farm. That's what I was able to acquire over the last couple days. I hope that is useful to you in some way.
Yes. I
Mhm.
I'll have to thank you later. But now we also have something else of concern. Jericho.
Go ahead.
And I'll nod at Roshan.
It seems he would like to chat, and we were wondering if it would be wise, in your opinion, to leave town before he has the chance to talk with us.
He puts up a finger and then takes a moment to drink as well. Like, 1 second, let me catch up. As he takes a moment and then sets his drink down. How do I put this? It kind of seems like you're already fucked. It's a good thing that we have no association if things were to go sideways for you. But what to say? I do not think I could be of much help. I have yet to see anyone pay off Jericho. And leaving town, how quick can you move? Teleport, you're on the roads. You're in the surrounding area. Seems dicey and risky.
Love that.
Well, the break-in was a little loud.
Was louder than we were hoping to.
Well, what if we wait for Jericho to be occupied?
What are you suggesting he be occupied by?
We
Well-
have information. Meta to the party, like, have we told him about the rotting pits outside, right? Like a day's walk away.
We told Brilla,
Yeah,
and
I would expect
I would-
Brilla probably.
Danelle was there, so I'm sure there's nothing that Danelle didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Is this extra distraction a job he is currently working on?
no, probably not.
You're welcome to try.
Did he just conveniently forget to tell about Roshan's sister, even though he brought it up first?
Did he?
I mean, he moved right into talking about Gorbjorn's family.
Yeah,
I mean, what kind of vibe did Roshan get? Because he was asking about his own sister.
I mean, you're welcome to roll insight, but it was not addressed.
Oh, I hate it. I don't think Roshan's going to bring it up.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I cannot be incredibly helpful when it comes to Jericho. I can do my best. I could try to give resources. Try not to get found here. I mean, I've talked to the man. We've had conversations. We talk things out. Usually it involves me trying to get the deal for someone or just turning them over because it's too much work. I don't want to see you taken in, so what can you do?
I'm sure we'll figure it out. I suppose we were hoping we might see ink if they're available before we leave.
Well, you won't be leaving town today. I'll give you an update on ink later today. I'll talk to Lafayette.
All right.
Or anything else?
Thank you for your time.
He smiles and then like grips his cane and like helps himself stand. Sort of gives everyone a nod and then casually goes back about his business. He kind of goes back to where he was at the bar and places his empty drink there to be taken back.
Well, shall we meet back in the room?
I think probably, yeah. We ought to like figure out exactly which way we're going from here.
I expected this much. All right.
I think Roshan like leads the way quickly. Because he's pissed.
Yep.
And I think when the group gets there, he says, well, it doesn't seem that Olavi believes we are leaving town today, so perhaps we should meet with Jericho. See what he has to say.
That's what I would like to do as well. There's the small issue of your description of our marks that he's put on us, the brands like cattle. You said it might prevent us from saying certain things about him. If we find ourselves face to face with Jericho and unable to give any explanation of what actually happened, that might put us at a bit of a disadvantage.
It might, and I do not know how to mitigate that disadvantage right now.
We could or couldn't say, and chances are good we can't do that casually.
I'm going to try something. As soon as we're in a say, we left the tavern.
You're in the room. You're in the room.
And we're
Okay.
back in the room.
Fenn's going to take out a piece of parchment and he's going to try to write down the description of what happened. Just a paragraph detailing we were taken on the road. Ink was killed by Silas Steelen or by his employees. We came here to help Ink we were coerced into robbing Silas as payment for that, and just try and write that down and see if the words come out in a way that makes sense rather than having to speak it out loud, since it sounds like we might not be able to say anything out loud.
I mean, I'll say the way that you just phrased that goes down on paper.
Okay. Read this. Does it make sense to you? Does this, if you read
Gorbjorn
Roshan,
squints.
Roshan, if you read this, does it sound like an actual accounting of what happened that would be not alibi but justification?
I assume yes. I assume it reads like it. He wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to put everything up into, including that Olavi just threw the stuff we stole right into the fire. Like,
Are you writing Olavi's name down?
I'm.
Because you didn't in that first statement. Do you do that in this statement?
Oh, I just assumed. Yeah, I'm going to write a description.
Yes or no?
No, I'm going to write a description of him rather than actually saying his name.
Sure.
Just FYI, Fen, this can't leave this room. This is getting burned before we leave.
Can I eat the paper?
You're welcome to grab it and eat it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm just. If we go face to face with Jericho and want to claim that we did what we did under duress, which we did, and try to buy ourselves some time, he's going to want to know who we were working for, and I'm not sure we're allowed to say.
I agree with that, but I think there are ways to communicate. He's a smart man, and I think he'll understand.
All right, that's my concern is, and information on your sister. Well, he was supposed to give that to us and he didn't. Where will we get that now? We've come so far.
If we get this sorted out with Jericho, I think he might give it to us. And if he doesn't, I don't know. But I don't want to stay in this town any longer after we figure out this with Jericho and hopefully help Norrell.
I would like to help Norrell. She's the only person in this town who's given us any degree of kindness. And the least we can do is attempt to help her. I'd rather not have any dealings with Jericho if we don't have to, but it sounds like we might have to. And I'd really like to be rid of our current employer. That's where I stand.
Well, should we tell Jericho we'd like to meet him at the Singing Mushrooms?
At the fallen tree.
Fallen tree probably would be the more permanent of the two. I don't think I've heard screaming since that first night, but it's hard to
They're like
tell
little
sometimes.
carolers. They just move them around the town in like a basket full of dirt.
Jesus.
Cute.
So-
Sale.
My only thought is we might be watched the moment we leave this place by Jericho or his employees. I'd like to get there first, not be seen with you, just to remain as incognito as possible, and I'll meet you there.
I think that's a good idea.
Go ahead, yes.
I wouldn't look yourself as you leave, though.
Mm-hmm.
So Fern will cast disguise self, and he's gonna make himself look like Dolph, hero of Arentoft.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. On vacation.
Yeah.
On vacay. Here we go, boys.
Hero of Arentoft walks out of the inn and meanders his way to the fallen tree. Okay. casual. Cool.
I
What's
can
everybody
hide
else
us
doing?
as we go.
Well, I think we need to send him a nice little letter.
Mm-hmm.
Nana, would you write and do the honors?
All right. Nana will take down in the letter the time and the place where we intend to meet Jericho. Oh, how to phrase this. To sort things out, I guess, or something of that nature.
What does the letter say?
You want me to narrate it to you?
I mean, it could be a couple lines, but yeah. I'd like to know what he's receiving. But if not, we can go with vagaries.
Nana would write in the letter, Jericho, I guess something along the lines of, we will meet under nonviolent terms at the Square of the Fallen Tree. Do I even have the clout to ask him to come alone? I don't. Probably not. But
Your hand hovers above and you're like, nope.
I'm not gonna pull charisma without my personal presence there, and I don't think I have the extant clout to make that work. So, anyway,
And
I'm just gonna close that out and send it to him.
you toss the letter up. It folds into like a much more aerodynamic little piece and slams itself directly into the window, realize
Oh.
it is foiled, and then it flies back the other direction and like slides right under the door and makes its way out. Its first direct path, inadequate.
Well then, we could have opened for you, I suppose. Oh well. Anyway, I was rather expecting a poof of smoke, but now that it's been sent, let's go and not be along the same path. Yes? Can all of us fit out the window?
All are welcome to go out the window, yeah.
Why not just why not just the front door?
Because I can allow us
But
to not be
Jillian,
seen as we go.
This window.
Jillian, Nora went out the window and she's so cool.
She is,
I-
though!
I don't think we need to be stealthy. I think he knows where we are. So if we're going to meet him, I don't think leaving stealthily is going to give us a benefit.
All right.
I think it's better to conserve our resources should a fight break out.
Fair enough.
But if possible, we had to go out this window. Jillian, what's our situation?
Out this window,
Just
my
so
dear.
that we know. Just in
Yeah,
case
we can
either-
go out the window. That's fine.
You can ram yourself against the glass and
Just like the paper
take
crane.
that with you, or you could open it and leave. There's like a nice kind of scaled-ish roof. It's actually a pretty good window to go out if the situation presented itself.
Wow.
So all of you go out the window. I've decided you all leave through the window now. You all casually leave
Norway.
and make your way to the square. The tree there is still fallen. The ropes that had been there to pull it down are now missing. Those have been taken away, but the tree is still felled. The hero of
and unmoved,
Arentoft
I assume?
chills. It's unmoved. It's exactly where it fell. You all set up shop, waiting for your friend. A little short notice, but you know, it's the middle of town.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
easy accessible. So.
And about 30 minutes past the time that you send this letter out, you sort of stretch, and you feel almost like somebody threw a little football into your hand. Another letter just like slam right into your palm.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's see what we've got. Nana opens the letter.
You can see this a new piece, a nice letter written out. It says Nira on it. It says, "Dear Nira, thank you for the initiative. I'll meet you at Tucked and Loaded."
Do we know where that is?
You're welcome to ask around. It is.
Is
It's
that a
another
drag bar?
That's what it sounds like a little bit, but like
Now it is.
progressive.
Now
I
it
love
totally
this.
is.
Fuck yes.
It's from what you guys can figure out around town, a very fun, much more fun at night, but still a little fun during the day. Tavern.
Is it like a soubrette?
It's a tavern. And maybe some people dress up and have a good time. It really, now it's all up in the air.
I love
Gotta
it.
make a note.
So good. So good.
Well,
but
does
Nick,
this-
you received this letter.
I just assumed that Fendolf would join us. Fendolf sounds like knockoff Gandalf.
I mean,
This is our new Lord of the Rings story. We're
do we
not
get to
ripping
look to
anything
the
off.
east at him?
So what would you guys like to do? The hero of Arentoft like looking over, like real casual, like from
What are
across
you
the
doing?
across the square.
I think we should just leave. Like, I think the hero of Arentoft will just get it.
I mean, yeah.
He's a very
if
smart
we,
hero.
If we depart, I mean, I'm sure, like, one of us surely. I think Nana absolutely said aloud, "Do we know where that place is?"
And then saw you ask people, "Where is this place?" and then watched you leave. I believe in Fen enough for that.
I feel like that would be.
Fen's like, "Okay, bye."
It's like, if we're supposed to not look associated, we can't be giving him
Yeah,
signals.
I'll stay like 80 feet back, just like
Okay.
yeah, just following them casually. I'm whittling.
Haha.
Just
I will tell you
absentmindedly.
this.
Can I
Um,
stealth?
You're welcome to stealth. Just some info for the hero of Arentoft. You waited for 30 minutes and you left a bit before them. So you are pushing closer and closer to an hour and
Yeah,
getting
I'll
to the
go ahead
tavern.
and duck into an alley and recast my disguise self. Did I hear the name of the place or description that it was a
Get
drag bar?
multiple disguise selves?
It's lasts for an hour. It's a first level spell. I could just recast.
Oh, I thought it was a class ability. Never mind.
Oh no, it's a spell.
Sure, you're welcome to recast when you get closer.
Did I hear the name of the place or that it's drag bar?
Do I know any? Roll perception.
Right. Oh, that's a 21.
Oh yeah.
Cool. When I re-up disguise self, I'm gonna be in a fabulous red gown.
Oh yes.
Yeah, just Dolph, hero of Arentoft, but sexy.
Still the hero of Arentoft,
Choice.
but in a
The
dress.
queen
Nice.
of Arentoft.
The heroess
Perfect
of
writing.
Arentoft is here, boys. I love it. You love to see it.
You mean heroin?
Nope,
Don't
heroess.
do drugs. Too.
Don't do drugs.
I
too.
know what I said. I'm gonna roll
I
damage.
think Roshan is going to middle part his hair.
Okay. So,
that's
hero of Arentoft, you try to get there first, correct? Is that what you're aiming for?
I was trailing them, so like I was
So
trying to.
you're going to
yeah,
arrive after them.
Yeah, I'll need to
Okay.
duck into an alley and re-up disguise self.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. What'd you get on your stuff, Gorbjorn?
21.
Good to know. You all arrive. at different times at Tucked and Loaded, which seems to be a tavern in combo, not in the sense of two buildings smashed together, but a large enough building to be both if necessary. It seems like it is a newer tavern in town. Fine wood, doesn't look incredibly faded by time. A nice, large, sort of warm space as you enter. Who all is going in together? Because I know Gorbjorn's stealthing, so I'm just trying to figure out if he's going in with the main group also.
I will be behind the main group.
Okay.
But
So there's 3 groups.
before
currently.
Fed, yeah.
Okay.
I want to leave
So-
it up to Roshan whether he wants to enter with Nira, or if he wants to hang back.
He'll enter as with Nira. He'll enter as Nira. Now there's
I am
2 of
now
us.
Nira.
Oh,
Or
shit!
Nira.
I am
Old
Nira.
lady Nira, or new reborn Nira?
Yeah, one of you is old lady Nira, one of you is young lady Nira.
Mm.
We cover all our bases.
Can I be
Uh,
Coral Nira?
Ooh.
Hey, can I be when she's just a cocoon of coral? I'm just asking. The 3 stages of butterfly Nira.
Old
So
Nira,
the
Coral
first group
Nira, and young Nira. In that
walks
order.
in. The first group, give me perception checks.
18. Nope,
18,
17.
17.
Not rolling super good tonight. That's okay. 14.
Sure. It's honestly not that hard to see an 8-foot tall man.
Fair.
Currently sitting at a chair that does not seem super adequate for his size, but he sits in this chair like back straight, and it makes it look even smaller because he's sitting like at full height. And he currently has, it looks like he was drinking tea or something to the effect. It does not look like it contained ale. And you can see him sitting at a table by himself. He immediately clocks the 2 of you. And Roshan, you clock that a few other people at tables put eyes on you, but then don't do anything. So you are clocked for multiple spots in the room.
That only makes sense. We've been invited into his place of preference, not ours.
This is his preference. He
I'm
motions in
learning
front
more
of
about
him.
him.
And smiles, just like a large, pleasant smile. Nana Hemming's daughter, and he smiles. Please take a
Nice
seat.
to-
You can sit as well. I don't know your name.
Thank you.
You'll have to forgive me for prying, but the nice, a bit chatty mailroom clerk allowed me to glance at your letters. Just to get your names. I promise I didn't read too deep.
Is he lying?
You're welcome to roll insight.
I'd like to know too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on!
Almost can't roll worse. That's a 12.
Oh. I almost can't roll worse either. It's an
A 2.
8. I mean, I rolled a 2 on the dice. You're right.
Hey,
Wow, both
It
of
was
us.
a total of 8. A total of 8.
Nana, you're up to however you have to feel about it. You can't get one way or the other from him.
Yeah, fine.
Roshan, this man keeps a solid, pleasant face throughout this. And it seems he included it because he didn't want Nana to feel uncomfortable. And you don't think that was, you can't be sure, but you don't think he's lying?
Great. We're gonna meet a fucking nice guy.
Hey, I stalked you. Hope that's cool. I gave you my name.
Of course.
So I just thought it was only fair.
Oh,
That only makes sense. Apologies.
Then I suppose you can call me Roshan.
Nice to meet you both. At this time, Gorbjorn, you are welcome to enter the space as you see fit.
I actually am going to post up at the entrance of the door like a bouncer. But when
Okay.
anybody gets close, I'm just gonna like open the door for them.
Here you go. Okay, you set up
Hello?
shop at the front, and you open door for the hero of Aaron Toft in a beautiful dress. Hero of Aaron Toft, what will you be doing today? Are you gonna go take a seat?
Yeah, try and find like a high top, maybe a couple tables away, somewhere I can still hear what's going on. Try and
Sure.
look casual. Cross my legs and be as ladylike as possible, though. Like
You're like, I mean, you get into the character mindset. I would like either deception or performance, please, just to get your energy.
I think those are going to be the same.
Oh.
Yep,
Probably.
a 12.
Okay.
Respectable.
12 on the dice with no modifier because they're both +0.
Unfortunately, all of Jericho's men are regulars here.
They're like,
Ah,
I
shit.
don't know her.
Who is she?
She's
Where does she
new.
go on?
She doesn't even go here.
What's your name?
Multiple people keep trying to sit at the high top, like, hi there. But you sit down, you get comfortable. Go ahead and roll perception just to see how much of this you're able to pick up on. For such a large man, Jericho is very soft-spoken. Talks very softly in a way that you almost sometimes have to lean in a bit, but speaks very softly.
There's another 12 on the dice, so that's an 18.
All right. You get comfortable. So you missed the first part about going through her mail. So you just don't know that part.
Okay.
You probably would have seen a brief moment where Nana looked a bit perturbed. But I think that it would smooth out one way or another, and she's polite afterwards.
So I am glad that you decided to meet me. I appreciate it. It's usually easier if we can speak in person and come to terms on our own.
I think it's best to clear the air. Apologies for the deception. We've been on the road for a very long time.
Are your two companions deciding not to join us today, or?
It appears so.
That's their choice. I suppose you'll be making choices for them today. Or I suppose yourselves. But that might be more difficult, I think, seeing as you are a group. I think we should go into this as straightforward as possible. Were you at Silas Steele's home, and did you steal from and damage the property?
No.
Roll deception. Disadvantage.
Ooh, we got, what is my deception? We got 10. Very good roll.
He nods. I see. Well, you two have a nice day. And motions to the door.
Thank you for
Did you not want to talk?
Well, I can't help you if,
And what is it that you want to help us with?
I want to get things settled for both parties without including outside forces, such as the law.
Okay. And how would you like to do that?
Well, I would hate to talk about someone else's business. I'm here to talk to, I think, some new burglars in town.
That's what you think we are. So why don't we have the talk because you're going to treat us as such either way.
I offered to end the conversation now. You're welcome to go.
And if we were to have just left town, would you not have harried us anyway?
If you're innocent, no.
And who decides whether we're innocent?
That would be left to evidence.
Okay.
And if needed, outside forces, witness testimonies, fluids found at the scenes. There's magics for that. Very interesting. But if this is not you, then there's no reason to have this conversation. But I'm trying to tell you that I want to settle things, but we need to be honest with each other if we're going to do that.
All right. Then let's assume we were there.
Not a fan. But I'd like to move forward. And smiles again.
I wholeheartedly apologize for any steely demeanor, but this town hasn't been kind to us so far.
Well, you haven't been very kind to this town. So
That's a matter of opinion.
that's a matter of how that fucking carpet smelled. And he smiles. So, as it were, this is how I like to settle things. And I'm glad you came to me because that means you are willing to listen. I'm going to present some options. And if none of those appeal to you, we move forward. To start, are you able to return the items you stole? Yes or no?
No.
That's a pity. So that means you're going to have to pay for the missing items. You will also be paying for damages to the home, including any upholstery that needs replacing. There's damage to the foundation, the floors, the walls, multiple doors, some drawers popped aggressively out of place. Also, speaking to Silas Steele, he is willing to, after some talking to, he's upset, which you can imagine. But I was able to get him to round down the amount. I'm not a big fan of complex numbers. It's easier for everyone involved, I think.
Yeah, of course.
I think, based on the total of all items stolen, lost, and damaged, you as a group owe Silas Steele 100,000 gold. And I understand that is a great deal of money. We could, of course, instate installments, 1,000 gold pieces from each member of your group a month. And if that is too extraneous, I was able to talk Silas down to 500 gold per person a month. And I think this is very kind of him. And if you were to miss a payment, which not the most pleasant outcome, I would say, this case will be turned over to the authorities and will no longer be in my hands.
And how do you think the authorities will entreat evidence that your employer had one of our companions killed?
Is it one of your missing companions currently?
Yes, technically.
Very helpful.
It is
And
a companion we were traveling with, who Silas paid to have killed.
Is there a body I could see? Is there any? You said there's evidence.
Yes.
What it is?
What's that?
May I know what it is?
No, what is? The evidence?
Yes, if there's evidence, I'd like to know what it is.
There is witness testimony as well as documents from the clutches of Silas.
If you could present those documents, I don't want to work for a criminal.
I obviously did not bring them here today.
That's a
I
shame.
wouldn't want to be caught with things that incriminate other people.
I can tell you this much, and I appreciate the gift of the gab. You're not going to win that. And if you present your evidence, and if it is real, Silas will be punished. You may take it to the authorities. I will also, of course, take my information to the authorities as well. Easier to settle it that way. Is that how you'd like to proceed?
I think we would need just a bit more time to discuss with our missing friends.
I see. That's understandable. And he leans back a bit, and you can hear the wood kind of struggle a bit under his size. I suppose there is another option.
And what is that?
I personally believe from what I saw that you are capable of, I suppose, harder work if you are able to replace these items with items of equal worth. The debt, the crime in itself will be expunged. We are not asking you to commit a crime here. That would be immoral. There is a relic, an old building, and it's a bit dangerous. If you were able to retrieve items from said building, and it equaled the amount necessary, bet settled. Room restocked.
Well, that does have me interested. Where does this old building lie?
Funny. I can't fully confirm. It seems it is at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, lovely. I think I've heard about this room. It was actually on our list of places to visit.
That's incredibly lucky.
Convenient.
It is quite convenient.
It's a bit of a, what do you call it, urban legend around here. But, people go, they don't come back, that sort of thing. So people just stop going. Or, husbands run off with, a younger mistress, and they just say, oh, my husband, he went off, never came back looking for treasure,
And what does local legend call this place?
I can provide you a map of its location. It also has multiple names written upon it. If this is what you're interested in, you did say you needed to talk to the rest of your friends, though I will say that this answer has a bit more of a timeline on it. So I would need that as soon as possible.
Well, we've got just a couple things to catch up on in town, and then we'd be happy to look into this. Seems several paths lead there.
I see. Just so you know, I'm giving you a small courtesy period here. Once the sun sets, the courtesy period is over.
And what does that mean?
It means I will be taking you into the authorities.
So we are to leave this afternoon and find
You're
our way.
to give me an answer.
Ah.
I would never do such. You need to prepare. If you die, that doesn't help anyone, really.
Of course it doesn't. Do you have another one of those fancy sheets of paper?
I do. One moment. And he has like a satchel at his side, opens it and pulls out a few pieces of paper and kind of thumbs through them. You can see some of them are blank, and then he finds one that already has his name filled in, and starts to put the other ones back. You can see currently there's a band setting up, and you can see it looks like the bartender looking around kind of nervously. And Fen, your eyes are trained kind of casually off to the side of the group, just listening. And then there's someone at your table.
Excellent.
There is a older human man, currently like a bit harried, looks a bit disheveled, kind of compared to the place in itself. Kind of goes over to you. Okay, you're up. What's your name? What's your act?
I'm just here for a drink.
He looks around. Listen, people get nervous. I get it. We'll double the pay.
The Lady Chablis does not get nervous. I'm just here for a drink.
We're going to be so disappointed. You can see this man's face drop. And he leaves you be and he goes to talk to the band.
Oh no.
The rest of you are handed another piece of paper. I think this conversation started off a bit rocky, a bit guarded, which is understandable. Considering some of the company you keep, understandable. But I think we need to break down walls where necessary.
That's what Gorbjorn thought.
Now look at this.
Got him!
Hey!
12 psychic damage.
The second the sun sets, all of these deals are off the table.
All right.
I believe you can expect some word back from us definitely before sunset.
That would be best for all of us, I think. Getting a bit old, and sort of chuckles softly to himself. You all look like you have a lot of energy, and chasing you around sounds like a pain in the ass, but I'll do it.
We would not want to put you out of your way.
That is appreciated. Ease is what we are looking for here. Send your missive when you are ready.
Well, it's
And
been
he
a
goes back
pleasure
to sipping
doing
his-
business with you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You got a roll deception on that, Roshan?
Sure.
Was it a pleasure?
It didn't come out that way. That is a 9.
I don't think I even have to make him roll, to be honest.
That's fine. He doesn't need to.
He's a sassy teenager. You know how we are.
You know how the 25-year-old teens are.
Nana's 19 still.
He looks over the both of you, smiles, and he's like, I hope we can keep all of your records clean. That's really my intent here.
That sounds lovely.
All right. Well, I'm going to finish up my drink if that's all right.
Of course. We'll leave you to it. Thank you again.
Well, Nana, shall we head to the route, line, and sinker?
Yes, I think so.
Well, Nana, should we head to the root line and sinker? Is that at the table?
I think it's on our way out the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, you
Yes, I
two
think that
exit.
would be best.
Is he
And-
watching them leave? Like, is he watching them intently?
I mean, his position where his seat is facing the front door.
Okay.
I would like to, as we're leaving, just survey the folks that were watching us and get an idea of what they do. Are any of them wearing wizard hats? Because then I would know they're a wizard. You're contractually obliged.
Otherwise, it's entrapment.
Does he have a wand, Jillian? He needs a spellcasting focus, Jillian. Does he have one in his
Who's
pocket?
using a cane?
Do any of them have swords, scimitars,
Question?
axes, clubs?
If you have to divulge this information, you can roll perception or insight to gather them up. Nana doesn't know they're
that's
there.
Fine.
That's a 27.
Nana, you rolled like an 8, I think, on perception when you walked in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
fair
so
enough,
you
then.
don't know that the room has multiple people in it that are
Jesus.
watching you.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
No, that is unknown to you. And you got 20 something, Roshan?
27.
Spicy.
Hot.
There is a wizard hat.
They
Ha!
all have wizard hats on,
Ah,
Oh,
but
shit.
they're
God!
but they're tucked under bowler hats. But you can see that there's a line of another hat directly below it. Hey, buddy, don't go there. Okay,
That's so
goodbye.
good. That's so good.
And you see that these people are armed. No wizard hats. No component pouches. You would assume that these are possibly the guards, or at least a group of guards that are following with Jericho that you had seen at the home at Silas Steele's.
Okay. Great.
And with that, I just looked at the clock. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. Ooh, bitch!
Ah, 10-minute break.
I lost track of time.
Well, you were
we're
very
gonna-
deep in the Jericho paint. So.
I was Jerichoing. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break, go get a snack, go get a drink. And we will jump right back into things and see what the party decides to do when offered such generous ways out of their predicament. Or maybe they won't pick those. It's really up to them, and I'd love to see what they do, and we'll know in 10 minutes. See you guys then.
Thank you, 10.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to On the Backs of Gods for episode 95. We just took our 10-minute break. The party split, disguised, some not inside and hanging out by the door, some disguised as the hero of Aaron Toft, but in drag. You met with Jericho, the man who is currently hunting for you, and it seems that he has been presented multiple fair options, in his opinion, for people that vandalized and stole from his employer's home, saying that you could return the items. Sadly, you can't. You could do monthly installments to pay the 100,000 golds worth of things you no longer have, which difficult. And if you were unable to pay at a time, this case would be given over to the local authorities to handle at their own discretion. And then a final option of replacing the items with relics that are equal in cost at a familiar landmark that you have heard whisper of, something lurking deep beneath the water. And you have currently until sundown to make your decision about what you would like to do before all offers are off the table. At this point, Nana and Roshan are out with Gorbjorn, who was outside originally. Fen is the only one still currently inside, disguised as the hero of Aaron Toft. Fen, what would you like to do?
I'd like to excuse myself to the lavatory, and as soon as the door closes, drop disguise self and turn around walking out as Fen.
Okay. You drop disguise self, you walk out of the bathroom. At this time, you see
nobody should recognize Fen, because when he was hauled away from the building, he was disguised as Silas. So
yeah, you weren't Silas at the building, no.
Oh. When he was hauled away.
You weren't Fen at the building.
Yeah,
is what I meant.
Yeah.
At the home, you were Silas.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I know. Don't you worry. At this time, though, you do see a tall elven figure who first off had to run past all of you outside to get inside, wearing what you would be like, you're like, oh, that makes more sense. When you look at the red dress that they are wearing, kind of the way you were trying to present yourself, you see it in its true glory as this elven person runs into the room, like bedazzled at the sides of the faces and makeup running up the sides into little peaks that swirl right around the hairline, with hair immaculately placed up, except for a spot right on the side where it looks like a small explosion. And there's like different colored little pieces of fabric accenting it. This person just scuttles past you guys quickly in heels. And then the barkeep like relaxes and feels and goes over to them like, and you can hear them like murmuring and being like, sorry, I was late. I'm coming. And like quickly shuffling over. And you see, it seems Jericho came for the show. He gets comfortable with his drink. He doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Fen, as you leave casually, Jericho raises his little cup to you as he goes and then turns his focus fully to the stage. All of you are able to reconvene as you see fit.
Are we heading to root line and sinker then?
Yeah, I would like to scout the area, see if there's anything we can see. I personally don't see any option but the fourth one, unfortunately. It seems like everybody needs us to do their dirty work.
Well, if those are the options presented to us by Jericho, I think that's the best option we're going to get from Jericho. I don't think we're in any kind of position to bargain.
No. I don't either.
Then Let's make this one more thing we check off the list in this place we were going to anyway. Why make it any more than that? It's what we have to do.
Okay, but I can still be mad about it, right?
Oh, certainly. I'm absolutely furious, but god damn it.
I'll rage about this.
Thank you. Thank you for taking it upon yourself.
Thank you, Gorbjorn. He's playing much more fairly with us than most folk have in this town so far.
That's a fair assessment.
He has
I
us in a
don't-
disadvantaged position, and he's taking advantage of that for himself, just as everyone else in this town, save one, have done.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to
everyone
grant- I
here
don't
is a
want to
bloody
grant-
capitalist.
I don't want to grant him any more charity than he is deserved.
Of course. At the very least, though, he's the first of the bunch that have threatened to get the law on our ass specifically. And that is something specifically we cannot do while we are here and when we can be identified and when everyone back home will 100% know what happened.
Well, if you want, you're welcome to send him a little letter back and ask if he has any advice for going in that might help us. That
Recommended equipment, you mean?
I don't know. I can make us breathe water for like 8 hours.
Well, one would hope it would take less time than that to get down to where we would need to go, but do we know how deep this place is supposed to be? Yes, I understand it's an urban legend. Who knows what kind of details we have available to us, but surely there's something.
Well, let's make that something we check out before we leave as well. But yes, I think asking him for any advice or rumors or anything he knows about it could be fruitful for us.
And thus beneficial to us getting the job done.
Yes.
All right. Anything I ought to add in addition to that?
I mean, there's a whole lot of things that I'd love to add in addition to that. None of them
Anything
are
that
polite.
Exactly. None of them that will get us, I don't know, forcibly ejected from this deal immediately.
Nope, can't think of anything.
Very well, then. Fen, Gorbjorn?
Ask him if there's any place that he recommends within the town to equip ourselves. We've already been to one weaponsmith and bought a few items, but there might be some more specialized gear we could use.
All right.
I say we agree and leave town and then just hope he dies like everybody else.
Well,
Gorbjorn, we're heading here anyway. You understand that. We're going to be in this place. We might as well just snatch the bloody artifacts or whatever the fuck it is.
Exactly. But who's to say he'll be alive when we come back? So, like, sure, whatever.
I think that's a good point.
There is that. This is a place that people go adventuring and don't return from. We could agree to do this and then not return.
Exactly.
What an interesting idea. For now, I think we should send a letter saying we are interested in going on a dive and ask if there's any information or help he can provide.
Nana will
Agreed.
take
Let's-
that down. That sounds like exactly the kind of thing.
Yes, let's make our deadline by all means.
Fucking
Absolutely.
deadlines. So
Mm.
I hate this town. What's this town called?
now I'm-
Timely filed our our intent to delve this submerged dungeon.
I'm dropping everything. You're currently in Noaten.
Right.
I don't know. This town's been really good to Gorbjorn.
It's true. Gorbjorn's having a great time.
I've been thinking about getting that boat.
I should
Thinking
get a
about that
boat.
I mean, it is becoming more and more and more apparent we're heading out to somewhere potentially in the middle of the ocean, and the less time we have to burn on traveling through the water on that spell is probably better.
I
It'll be
mean,
my
I will
portable
tell
yacht.
you guys are welcome to get a boat. You're also welcome to swim if that's your prerogative. But there are boats there.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
might there might be some ranger friends there who
You also know a ranger who works on the outer on the waters in
Mhm.
cave systems.
That is
Also,
true.
like an emergency raft out of your pocket, you know?
oh,
It's not
Everyone
an
is
emergency
full
raft
of
if you need a crew to man it in order to sail it.
You would need somebody to sail it, certainly.
oh yeah, that's right. We're not sailors.
Yeah, no, none of you know how to sail. You could try,
But
but
can't
you
you
do
just
not
make
know
it a
how.
rowboat?
You could casually take a rowboat out if you're interested. They're
Yeah.
all kind of there's a lot of sailboats in the area too.
Well, I thought it had different shapes. I'm sorry.
Just a fleet of paddle boats. That's what I want.
I
Just-
think the swan boat is only. I'd have to double check, but if you go back for it, we can talk details with the shopkeep.
Well, let's check out the route, line, and sinker. See if we can find anything exciting.
Let's.
I'll jog over to the root line and sinker. You, as you have progressed through the day, you've been getting closer and closer to the docks. From certain angles, you can now like see the water and boats moving by. This is, I believe, the closest you've been so far. You approach a very, very, very small shop, triangular in shape and like only as tall. It's like less than 6 feet high, this building as a whole. What are you guys doing? Are you looking around? You can see it looks like it's a fishing supplies type of building.
Norrell said there was a loose brick that there was hidden messages behind. I would like to just kind of check out that alley and see if I could locate a loose brick.
Sure, roll investigation.
Hey, something I'm not bad at. I mean, I'm not bad at anything.
I was about to say, I was like, you've been rolling things you're good at all night.
Yeah, I just can't roll well. So that's a 12.
I was gonna ask if you wanted some help, but
I will absolutely take help from somebody with a
was-
ranger's eyes.
Sure.
I mean,
Either
mine
Nana
aren't
can also roll, or you can have
elven
advantage.
eyes, but
I'll also roll because I don't think Nana's investigation is very high. Or I'll
that
roll
is
twice.
correct. Please do roll twice.
All right, so that's a 23.
Hell yeah, my
Okay.
dude.
You start to make your way around. Are you trying to do this stealthily?
No, I don't think so.
You go around
Um,
jostling fucking bricks.
Yeah.
alright.
People walk by and glance at you jostling bricks. You continue because that's what you came here to do. Don't look at me. I'm working. Keep
Yeah.
walking. Eventually,
Supplies?
you're like, as you're just kind of, I think it is not helping with the anger situation. This repetitive, annoying, bucking task. Oh, and one of the bricks slides out into your hand, kind of in a hard tug, as just like the pull on each one has gotten like more aggressive as you went, and you're just holding this, and you can see there is a bit of a divot where the brick was, and there is a piece of paper inside.
Is it
Well,
safe
we're
to
gonna
reach
open
in?
her up. We're not even gonna worry about it.
Okay. Mm,
As
careful.
makes sense when you look at it, it is a message from what you can only assume is Norrell. Um,
Hmm.
it
That would make
says,
sense.
if well, contact.
Great. And it's been several days since Norrell's been contacted. I suppose I'd like to go inside and talk to someone. Who owns this establishment?
You go inside, and there's fishing rods and nets, lures, lines, what have you. Cages for creatures to be caught on the bottom of the floor. Little long concave traps. Just a plethora of things filling the space as you kind of shuffle inside. And you can see sitting on a little bench, currently trying to weave another trap, is a young boy about 11. Looks over at you. Hey, what do you want? Fishing
Hey,
rod?
no fishing rods today.
Oh, nets.
I was actually hoping if you had seen any ladies outside the store who maybe stopped coming around about a week ago.
Well, the ladies don't stop coming around. This kid like gives you like a real aggressive wink, and like, what kind of lady?
Oh, I had a description. I'm guessing about, oh Jesus, where is it? 18 to 25. Dressed probably in adventuring leathers. Maybe had a hooded cloak. Anything like that sound familiar?
You watch him think for a second, and he points past you directly to Nana.
Yeah, kind of like her, actually. Anyone who was around here regularly about a week ago.
Oh yeah, these same ladies kept showing up all the time. They would do that thing where they walk real slow and really low, and I'm like, okay, and then they didn't buy nets, so I wasn't really interested.
That sounds like the ones. Could I, and Roshan will pull out a gold piece, could I get some descriptions of them?
Do you set the gold piece down?
I will hold it up in between us, like within arm's reach of him.
Yes. And he goes and he grabs for the gold piece.
I will not keep away with this child.
Haha!
You're the only person I can best in this town. Get fucked, child.
I need to feel powerful somewhere.
My God, it'll be here. You're too
he takes
small
the
to fight
gold
back.
and like kind of like flips it between his fingers.
You're pretty good at that.
1 gold per lady.
Ooh.
All right, then the one that looks least like, and then I will give a description of Norrell.
He just cheated me out of another gold. And he like narrows his eyes a little bit.
If the information is particularly good, then you can have that second gold.
You fish? He looks at your hands. You don't fish.
I was gonna ask, do I look like I fish?
Poor
Do I
ladies.
look-
Plenty of fish in the sea.
Okay. So there was a lady who would come by, and she was very nice. She didn't talk a lot. Sometimes
That's
she would
right.
just kind of stand in here. She would buy the occasional thing, but it was always something very cheap, and it kind of just felt like loitering, in my humble opinion as a businessman. But
How old does
other
this kid
woman,
look?
11.
he's like 11-ish.
That's great. All right, cool.
Um,
Continue.
I would say I don't know how old she was. I guess those numbers made sense. She had dark hair. I think it was long, but it was like, when they pull their hair really, really tight back, so they almost kind of look like they don't have any hair. Her skin color was darker, but it had like a kind of like a purple tint on the ears. Like her ears weren't like very big, but they were like partially kind of big.
Not like mine, but a bit smaller, but not like hers.
Yeah, a little smaller, but not rounded. They're a little pointier. Yeah, she was wearing a cloak. Yep. And he smiles. He has a little gap between his teeth.
Cute. Oh.
He's cute, and I want to punch him.
This kid in the middle of his
tiny businessman. Hate that capitalism.
Does that sound familiar from anyone in the group we saw killing monsters way back that's kind of been following us?
No,
Or at
that
least
would not
No,
fit
there are
any
no
of them.
no half elves. There's one elf in that group.
Hmm.
This might be the first half elf we've had in the campaign, honestly.
Huh.
There's been some scattered, but this is the first one, I guess, who has taken, I guess, a good bit of prominence.
Interesting.
Roshan, you're welcome to roll intelligence if this person rings a bell at all.
Sure. Roshan's very smart and cannot roll very well today, so that's a 5.
Oh no!
Would any
Yeah,
of
you don't-
us? Is there any possibility any of us could roll for that?
Sure, if you're interested.
I mean, maybe we would have, or whatever. Nope, not a clue.
Both of you go
That's-
glassy-eyed.
Smooth brain, no think.
I don't even know what a half elf is. Never heard of it.
Is it human? Is it elf?
Roshan will ask if she had any cute markings on her.
Maybe Gorbjorn
Good
made out with
marking.
one.
I don't know, tattoos, big red lips. Like my
butt.
friend's got here, some little stripies on his face. That's not racist. I just called them stripies.
That's technical term. Yeah. Yeah, she had, there was like stuff on her face, but it's not like she was, like, look at me in the eyes. Not like she was like, look at my face. She was like, and he just mimes being sneaky, like holding his head down and like casually
But-
looking up really quick and stuff.
Do
The
you sell tridents?
No,
Aw, he's so
not able
disappointed.
to make them. They're too hard to
Oh.
make, and I sold all the ones that I had.
All right,
Oh.
that's fine. What about these? And Fenn's gonna take out one of the corkscrew arrows that he's got. You have anything like this?
For fish?
Oh, I have some arrows for fishing, but they don't have metal tips.
All right.
Mm.
What about the clams? You know, the ones that you touch, and if they cut you, you die. You know the clams that I'm talking about?
Oh, the Freya's blood oysters.
Yeah, those ones.
Those.
Yeah,
You
that'll
have any-
touch you. You touch them, you die.
Yeah. What? Do you have any like gloves or anything, or a bucket to keep them in? Anything like that?
Wait right here.
We weren't.
Ooh,
We weren't
we've
going
caught
anywhere.
this kid's interest.
He goes through the back, and you hear like his little footsteps, and then you hear like the sound of a door opening and closing, and then it's quiet.
All right. I was really hoping if we spent some money here, he would come with some more information, but
Maybe he's going to get the gloves and the
maybe,
bucket?
maybe I hope so. I kind of
Well,
want to get some
I
more
didn't-
oysters.
I didn't realize he'd have to leave the building.
Yeah, did he go out the front door?
No, he went upstairs.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, no,
I
he went
thought
around.
just
He went to
dipped
the
out
back and
door.
left out the back door. Yeah, he left.
Oh.
That
uh,
was the impression I
He
got.
said he'd be right back, but he went out the back door.
Okay.
anything of
maybe-
interest in this little rink-a-dink shop?
Well, I was kind of
It's
hoping to
fishing
get,
stuff.
a trident, but apparently they don't have them.
Not here, I suppose. Maybe another town. close by.
Gorbjorn, you're going to be somewhat less efficient underwater at fighting.
Is there
Unless
like
you
a
get good with stabbies.
yeah, I was gonna say like a giant pike or like
I mean, Nana can always lend him a spear.
giant
There
Fun
would be
time.
things in like the like pointy lance department here. They don't
Harpoons,
look
maybe?
they look kind a little fragile, but they look like they could stab something.
Harpoons would be
This
fun.
is not a weapon shop per se.
yeah.
It's a fishing
harpoon.
shop, though.
Yeah, and this kid says he doesn't know how to work with metal, so he's doing his damnedest. As you guys sort of like look around and be like, wow, I can't believe he doesn't have more jagged metal weapons.
Oh, see, because I thought he was just playing himself off as the proprietor of the shop. Like, I thought, like, maybe his mom owned the place and he was just working here. But no, this 11-year-old owns this place.
It seems likely.
Okay.
And as you're kind of looking around, some time passes and you can hear the back door open again and close, and breathing hard, like sweating a little bit, and you could see like where it started to freeze a bit,
Oh no!
like around his like ears and temples.
Did you have
Oh,
a
no.
jacket?
I had to run because you wanted some things, so I had to go get them.
We didn't realize
Oh,
you
here's
would have
what
to
we
leave
got.
your shop.
And he puts a bucket down on the thing, just like a average bucket, and then pours it out, and it is a menagerie of gloves. Okay,
Wow.
so the thing is, how safe do you want to be? Anything
I'd really not like to die.
valid, smart.
Preferred. Whatever,
Hmm.
would be good for not dying would be very, very helpful.
Is there a competitor shop nearby?
Oh my god!
Well, they don't have gloves anymore now, so no.
Good
That
point.
is a very
Emotions.
effective business
Um,
model.
Good
You
point.
can
Not
see
3
that
points,
there-
though, because I don't have any tridents.
There's leather gloves. There seems to be like these really thick leather gloves, which is what you had heard Ember talk about, but she doesn't live on the coast. And there's also chainmail gloves.
Yeah, that's what I was more in the market for. Was
So I have these. if you want to be safe and not die, I'd probably spend money on the good ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can you layer some tight leather gloves inside the chainmail ones?
You got tiny hands. And he like looks at your hands.
Well,
Roshan's got very slight hands, but maybe Fen does too.
maybe I should wear them.
Yeah. I mean,
he
Orbjorn
could
had
definitely
awesome gloves and he
take
gave
the
them away.
damage.
he did. He broke up with his god girlfriend and gave her back the gift.
Too dominating for my wild spirit.
Barbjorn, your next boyfriend sucks even worse. Just
I
saying.
don't know.
Uh,
To be honest, use them. Gonna lose them.
Good. Need to lose that son of a bitch.
Lovey's
oh yeah,
great.
for sure.
Lovey's
I'm-
great. The
I'm-
audacity.
I have leather gloves. The chainmail ones. How much?
His cat is cute.
He narrows his eyes and sort of looks over the group. Yeah. 50 gold.
20.
Buy a suit of armor.
Still
Go.
20. It's probably worth like 4.
Then go buy a suit of armor. See if I care if you drown.
I'll give you 5 gold for these gloves and the information.
I'll take the 20.
All right, Gorbjorn, pay up.
I pay him 20 gold. You know what? No. I'm gonna pay him 200 silver. I fucking
Oh
Get
brat.
my god,
wrecked.
Gorbjorn!
He uses the bucket to start counting. Everybody wait. Tink, tink. So, are you guys interested in like fishing or the thing is, as he keeps like throwing coins in,
14,
a lot of people
42, 36,
don't really
19.
He
Oh my
dumps it out.
fucking God, don't.
So here's the thing. So you're trying to pay me for information. You're kind of paying me now to not give information because you're going looking for those oysters.
Are you extorting us to keep quiet about our whereabouts?
Uh-huh.
You're cute, kid. I hope that you don't end up dead, and I will give him another gold piece.
Don't stifle his entrepreneurial spirit, Roshan. He's a good
I'm not
kid.
going to end up dead. I'm not looking for scary murder oysters. And he's like throwing coins into the thing. So, hey, this is me, businessman to customer. Kind of keep that on the down low that you're looking for those oysters.
Why is that?
You have to get like a license to get them.
Lovely.
You have a Bureau of Fish and Game here. Oh, all right.
For death oysters, I've been told there's papers.
You need like a trout stamp or something? But
I don't have a document. I don't know. I'm not going out looking for oysters that'll kill me. It's just my humble opinion. I'm gonna die. You guys are gonna die. And counting these coins.
all right, we'll keep quiet about the oysters that we're certainly not going to get.
No, just say you're going to the spikes to
Look for a
I
friend.
don't know.
We
There's
are
pretty
looking
good
for.
fishing around there. You could say but you would need a fishing rod for people to believe you're fishing.
Do you have any good scary stories about the area?
Yeah, these fucking murder oysters.
Not about the murder oysters, but maybe a tower below the water.
Murder oysters.
places that people go to adventuring looking for something and they don't come back?
I mean, I think most stories on the water that I've heard is like, and then they don't come back because, they died. But I've heard a lot of stories about the fingers, the spires.
Yeah, what about them?
So the ones that are closer is where the fishermen usually go. A lot of fish like to congregate, but a lot of people fish there. But it's safer. And there's fingers further away that are less safe. And it can get a little dangerous. Usually there's people who kind of keep the area cleared out of anything too scary. But the things further out, people are just advised not to go to the further out fingers. And maybe that's where you could find yourself some sweet oysters. But you also could die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're quite right.
If not from the murder oysters, then there's any number of other things in the ocean, I'm told.
Literally the ocean itself.
Yeah.
She'd be happy to kill us.
So
She's a cruel mistress, and you see him look longingly out the window. So you buying fishing rods or what's up? Because I've got customers. There's nobody else here.
I mean, honestly, Nana does kind of want to.
I'll buy a fishing rod.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like a fishing
I
rod
want
as
a
well.
fishing rod for
But
sure.
if we get a
Everybody
fishing
buys a
rod, can you give
fishing
us any more? If we get a few fishing rods, can you give us any more information about the person my friend was asking about earlier?
Okay, so it is a gold fishing rod. These are really good fishing rods, and he does the little flex. Look at that. So how many fishing rods do you guys buy?
I want one.
I mean, I want
One, two. So three fishing
Mhm.
rods. So if you give this
Any
kid
other takers?
3 gold, he
Three
also
silver.
no
Or Bjorn.
And minnows. We
gold,
need
and I try to describe the lady better.
It's not my. I won't buy one then.
Okay.
fill the bucket with minnows, and we'll have a deal.
I'm gonna go get you minnows. Narrows his eyes. That sounds like a lot of work.
Your fishing shop, you don't have bait?
No. Well, we have some fake baits that are really cool. And we have some dried things, but I don't got just a bunch of minnows swimming around. That seems rude.
All right.
What sort
The
of
dry,
bait do you
the
have?
dried thing, the dried things.
Okay. He
you-
gives you a satchel of it for a copper. It is.
All right.
It's cheap.
Cool. I'm gonna feed that to Jenny.
Bird, go get you some minnows. Do you have other questions about the lady? She didn't talk to me very much besides being I want to buy some twine.
When's the last time you
And-
saw her?
Maybe uh 2 days ago.
Did she come in with anybody?
Yes, there was a man with her. Didn't have any hair.
Didn't have any hair up here or on his face or anywhere?
Nope, not that I could see. He might have had eyebrows, but he had his hood on.
Does that sound familiar?
I mean, that sounds like the description of members of the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Really just fucking going at this 11-year-old for his skills of keeping inventory on people.
He is trying to extort us. So
Yeah, I think before we leave,
A businessman.
Roshan is going to place his hands on this boy's shoulders and look into his eyes and say, "What's your name?"
Like narrows his eyes. What's your name?
Rose.
That makes sense. I'm Aaron.
Aaron. I
Good name.
want you to be extremely careful who you try to swindle and extort in this town. This town is not kind to people. And it would be a shame to see it not kind to you.
Reaches up and he puts his hands on your shoulders. I've been a businessman in this town for 5 years. Just looking you up in the eyes. I've never extorted a person in my life.
That's a good answer. Have a good day, Aaron.
You have a good day doing legal fishing, and like gives you a wink.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Have a good one.
And you exit the shop with some fishing rods and a nice pair of chainmail gloves, which seem like
And a bucket.
they'll do what they got to do. You haven't seen these oysters before, but they seem pretty heavy duty.
Hopefully they're not urchins.
Shit.
Ah,
Oh no.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ow.
Oh,
Point.
oof. And then we were all dead. The end. New characters.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. That's what to do after 2 years.
You exit the shop, deciding where you're going to go next. And then Nana, a note lands right into your hand.
Hooray. Clink. All right. Let's head somewhere a little off to one side.
Let's take up a picnic table on the wharf, away from people.
Let's.
You guys go find a place to sit closer to the waters and what have you. You look at the letter. It is a filled out piece addressed to you, full name, no longer using Nora.
Yeah, I do want to note that Nana signed off on the last letter with Nana Hemming's daughter. She's not pretending anymore with Jericho. That obviously is not cute, so.
He replies, I think that is a good choice for all parties involved. You will receive information tomorrow, if that is all right, if that works with your schedule. I'll have it sent to one of your rooms at the inn.
Of course he knows where we sleep.
Well, we did send the letter from there.
Yeah. Is there anything else anyone wants to prepare for this? I would like to I suppose while we're still in the fish market, Roshan will send a sending to Norrell and say information on your counterpart. Meet us at the inn quietly.
And you can see there is like an older man, like beard tied tightly, like in a knot, just fully in a knot, wearing fisherman's clothes. He has a boat next to him that he is currently tying up. Not sure how much of it went through, but there's we went off and on, but hi everybody. There's an older man, beard tied in a knot, currently also tying this boat to the dock. Decent sized boat. It doesn't look like he has anybody else working with him, but you just kind of have like a full view of a lot of this dock area. But he's currently just just working.
And we see him when?
This is when you guys are doing like your letters and like looking at stuff. He's over by his boat.
Does anything else about him stick out?
Roll insight.
20. Bastard.
You think he's maybe in his 50s, tan, sun, weathered skin. He looks like he works on a boat. Looks like he maybe has his own boat. That's his whole deal.
That's who him is.
That's his whole thing.
Well, I don't think we need to approach him. Maybe Norrell has some boat friends.
Or at least can recommend someone trustworthy enough.
Yes. Hopefully she'll want to go with us.
That would be good to have some additional help, but
I'd like to have her along. Fennel just bought a fishing rod and like a big bag of bait, so he like wants to hang out on the wharf here and like fish for like an hour, like just see if he can pull anything up in that time.
You're welcome to.
why not? Nana wants to try as well.
Okay, both the rangers start fishing. Roshan screams into his bucket.
Feels like we're kind of having a little bit of a better time. Do you want to try fishing, Roshan?
Continued screaming in the bucket.
Okay.
You've
just
gotta
Bucket
keep
of
it
my
down.
mind.
You gotta keep it
Enjoy
down
the
though. Your
bucket.
screams can scare the fish.
He takes the bucket 10 feet away from the shoreline and continues screaming. It's really cathartic. You should try it. I think that counts as self-care.
I gotta say, I don't think so.
Come
I don't want
on.
to judge another person's self-care, but that one might be a toss-up, boys. That one's a little bit of a toss-up.
My vote is yes.
I don't know. I don't think screaming into the bucket instead of either talking about your problems or finding a way to relax or unwind. I don't think the bucket wins out this time. Hate to do it to him.
Roshan, you can't Tuca this one, okay?
Both of you are welcome to roll dexterity though for fishing.
That's not too bad.
I got a natural 1.
Oh, welp, I did better than that. It was a dexterity check, 18.
Nana, you're able to pull up a couple fish during this. You're welcome to throw them back or keep them. It's up to you.
I mean, we don't really have the time to cook it, and I don't know if Gorbjorn wants raw fish in the bag of holding, so probably just throw them back.
While we have the fish, how do they look? There's
Yeah,
no
that's a
like
good question.
evidence of corruption on them or anything. They just look like fish, right?
You're welcome to roll nature.
That would be nice. Oh, I rolled shit.
I got a 24.
Thank
Well,
God
Nana?
for you.
You catch them.
I got a 10. I got a 10.
It's a
Flat
fish.
10. Okay, it's a fish.
You can confirm without a doubt you've caught a good fish here.
Fish.
You think like a good size if you wanted to keep them, but you're still welcome to throw them out. Fen? No, these fish seem okay.
Sweet. Good. That's a good thing.
I
Well,
would hope so. That or it's
The
just
fish here seem healthier than they did in Arentoft.
yeah,
Last time we were this close to fishing, there was a problem with corruption in the water, and I'm glad to see it's not spread this far, even if the corruption has come this direction.
that rather depends on what we manage to do at the fingers. We'll see.
As you're all talking, you kind of hear just like the older guy who's just kind of watching the sun start to set, like looks over, he's like, your line. Fent, your line is just fully drifted and
Oh,
just
no.
fully gotten into this man's net. Um,
Oh, no. Oh.
and he waves at you, don't worry about it, and just kind of meanders, and he just starts untangling it.
I'm sorry. Apologies. I'm more of a fisher of the land, as it were.
He kind of waves, it's not a problem, and he like points at the fish, good catch, like kind of pointing it on him.
Thank you.
Is your friend sick, or like Roshan just bent over a bucket?
Uh, he's certainly not feeling well. That's very true. It's been a long journey. We're all a little rough up.
New in town.
Yeah. I mean,
We're
it's not
new in
like we
every
could
town.
fool. It's true.
Travelers.
It's not like we could fool someone who's probably been through here more times than I
Oh,
should wager any of us could count.
I mean, I grew up here, but I'd been gone for a while. I came back kind of recent. I missed it.
Where did you go?
I went up north for a bit. You know, leave the water behind, I suppose, but
What is it like
Like that.
passing under the hammer?
I've
Can you
never
see it
been.
from the water?
People say that you can, but I don't believe it based on the amount of fog that's usually in there. I think they're full of shit.
Lots of people
But-
are full of shit.
Yeah. If you guys are adventurers, I mean, I don't know you, but I'd keep it up. I wouldn't let that go. If you got the, if your feet still work good enough to do it, I'd do it.
You've been up north by the forest then.
I've seen the forest before.
Lots of things crawling out of there lately.
Yeah, last time I was up there, getting hot to handle, as they say. I've heard they brought up people to try and chop it down. That's a choice. Or at
The
least
whole
keep it at bay.
The whole forest? Or
Well,
just
the growing out bits, I assume.
I always imagined it would be beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's really a shame. It is what it is. And he like finishes unwrapping it and he's like, I don't know how you did this. With that nat one, you've just fully married these two pieces together, and he finally gets it out and lets you kind of take it back. I'm sorry, I've been blathering all this time. What's y'all's names?
I'm Fen.
Hmm.
From the west.
I'd like to insight him real quick just to see if he's got good vibes or bad vibes.
I'd like to
Vibe
insight
check,
the vibe.
please.
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
Vibe check,
Uh,
please.
Best of 20.
Ooh, I got an 18.
I would say you are not sensing any like bad, nefarious vibes. It's not what you're picking up on.
All right.
Roshan's like, this fucking town. I'm ready.
Stop telling everyone our names.
Yeah, man, come on.
He looks to the rest of you
No.
expectantly. He doesn't know you guys have had a shit time in
Yeah, of
town.
course.
He doesn't know that.
We just
No,
told
of
him we
course
had a
not.
shit time in town, but
He doesn't think it was, that type of shit time in town.
I think that he's pretty much clear. Nana will introduce herself by name. Not full name, but first name.
Yeah. Roshan.
Rose.
Gorbjorn.
I'm doing here.
Again?
I was thinking he would be just trying to look with the seagulls and any like seals or anything in the harbor.
He's having just a good
Gorbjorn
time.
is having his own time. He's having nature time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and which is, self-care.
He used to be so
and he-
connected with
This
it.
is the
but
beach episode.
This is self-care. Not screaming into the bucket.
Still time.
He nods. The west. Cross the hammer.
Cross the hammer.
I've been a couple times. A while ago, not recently or anything.
Where'd you visit?
Major spots. Went to the capital. I went to Galunder. Just the towns. They're beautiful.
Beautiful, quaint. I miss the towns. I never thought I'd say it. Miss towns. I'm more of a wilderness man myself, but I miss the towns there. The towns. These are cities. Everywhere we've been here has been a city, and it's not the
Bustling
same.
metropolis. It's different.
Things have been thriving a good bit.
How did you
Things
describe this
are
man again?
in his 50s, tan, weathered skin, nearing kind of graying, whitish hair, and then like a beard tied in a knot. Fisherman's clothes.
He doesn't
Rolling
happen
up
to
the
have a tattoo beneath his beard, does he?
Wisdom.
Okay.
You do not see a face tattoo.
So Roshan will just ask, and what was your name?
He laughed. I'm sorry. I got caught up in nostalgia, I guess. My name's Ivan Frey.
That
Any
is
familiar kind of name.
Give me
Aside
1
from
second.
Frey.
I know that name. I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
Hacking the
That
system.
That is a very familiar name.
Yeah, he's the Jarl
Oh,
of.
dang.
Is he the Jarl here?
He is the Jarl of the area you're in currently.
Oh, okay.
And you see him just like looking out at the water. He like introduces himself and then kind of like looks back out.
And what does a Jarl do for fun on the water?
I'm just working.
Hmm.
Living life a simpler way.
That sounds lovely. Any tips
Mm.
for some newer leadership in the West?
I don't think I'm the one to ask about leadership at this point. As you can see, and he like motions to his surroundings. That's not what I'm doing right now.
Why not?
I don't want to. And someone can, I'm sure, do it better.
Gosh, that is a mood.
That's a mood. It took the words out of my mouth, Roshan.
That's a shame. You all are young. Shouldn't be that way.
It's been a long year.
It's been a rough few weeks over here, and I'm sure somebody else is handling it better than I could have.
How so? Are you talking just about the tree and then the tree coming down and then the screaming mushrooms? Is that what you mean?
No.
Oh, I'm
I mean
sorry. Sorry to
the
presume.
influx of corruption.
Oh, I thought those all went together.
They could, but I'm a fisherman, so.
Mhm. We would very much like to do whatever we can to try and mitigate the corruption.
Well, then it sounds like we need to find other people.
I think you've got the right idea. And like looks at Roshan. But if you need a fisherman,
We just might, actually.
Yes.
We're looking at heading out into the further fingers sometime soon.
We'd like to do
it's a little
some fishing.
dangerous.
We've heard there's some particularly interesting fish out that far.
And it's just a bonus if we don't come back.
Apparently.
Feels like you're asking me to kill you, but I know that's not the case. I'm sure you'll elaborate later.
Yes. We would prefer not to be killed at all. Particularly not by you.
Yep.
Whatever the reason.
Pardon the miscommunication.
Well, I have a boat. I'm capable of taking you out into that area, mostly because I would enjoy it. It's hard to do on my own.
Well,
It would
like you said,
cost some gold, but
we're young, able-bodied people. We've never sailed before, but perhaps we could help you.
Well, if you're trying to go as soon as possible, I would get here before sunrise.
We might need to touch base with a friend of ours before then, but I don't see why we couldn't do that.
Yes, let's meet back here at sunrise.
I'll be here.
We appreciate it. It was wonderful to make your acquaintance.
It's nice to meet you too. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna pack it up here. And
You too.
You watch the Jarl, whose rumors had been that either he had fallen sick or died. Nobody had seen him in quite some time, and his second had taken over, but he is still technically the Jarl. And you watch a fisherman named Ivan Frey make his way away from the docks, preparing to meet you tomorrow.
Good
And that
coincidence.
is where we are going to stop for tonight. All so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. Here at the Dice Club. Boy, oh boy, we got stories on stories on stories. On Tuesdays,
do.
we have Legends of Theia, run by Frank, Dungeons and Dragons 5e campaign. Go into caves, the underground, kill a bunch of monsters, fight God, the good shit, good old-fashioned D&D. Bring a snack, definitely bring a drink, because you're going to have a good time. This is bi-weekly. And on Wednesdays, we have Cordially Invited Dungeons and Dragons 5e, which is over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Dice Cult. You can also watch the backlog of all of our shows over on there. See what's going on. If you need to catch up. If you want to watch a quick one-shot, we got one-shots. It's whatever you're looking for. Cordially Invited is a Dungeons and Dragons 5e game, also bi-weekly on Wednesdays, about a royal wedding. And I think it's getting a little spicier, guys. I was saying, wow, how put together and definitely not violent and salacious this wedding is. And,
Everything
maybe
goes
the
exactly
scribs on it.
according to plan. Nothing is broken. Everything's fine.
And if you would like to confirm that, you can head over there on Wednesdays, I believe next week. I believe this is the off week. And on Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and The Last Remaining Light. And I don't think any amount of shenanigans could get us out of the fact that this is going to be the finale. That this will be the last episode, as Elysium has begun. Weapons are
Hopefully
drawn.
A bloodbath.
It's going to be a nightmare.
A vitae bath, if you will.
If you will, if we're using the terminology. It is a fight for survival on all ends. And there's only one way to see who comes out of there alive. It could be us, and it could not be. So if you want to see how that goes, you can join us on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and join us for the finale. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. I just posted a lovely picture of a Hero Forge of Jericho, just so all of you could get in on it and just imagine what I'm seeing. Because my description's okay. But if you need a real picture of it, there you go. Thank you again for being here. We really appreciate it. We will be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, cultists.
Love you all.